Hey, Basil with GraysonHobby, and our last container, which you haven't seen that video, we'll put it somewhere over here. We got a new type of meteor. It's actually the same meteor. Where'd they go? It's actually the same meteor. Dang it, where'd they go? Or your blue nozzle, EDF nozzle, I guess. Canopy is a little different. If I can find these things, I would actually open them up. While I continue to look for these things, here they are. So let me go back in here in the showroom with Will, and we'll open it up to hopefully do a quick build and show you what the new Meteor Navy Scheme EDF from Dynam looks like. Alright, so a lot of you probably asking what the heck is a 2.1. Well, it's really the same version as the version 2 with the blue and the retracts. However, we have a new set of decals, and so we're going to let you see how this comes out of the box.
You got your retracts showing the retracts. You got your tail section, all your hardware. You got your screws, glue, extra fan blade, push rod for the rudder. It's now silver instead of blue or clear on previous
So that's
models.
new. Silver canopy right there. It's the part that we're all probably waiting for right here, right? And turn over, boom.
We had to make us a silver canopy, and the exhaust was blue too. I didn't like that.
I don't
had
like
had silver exhaust. It's a jet. And then the decal sheet, just a little more color contrast. The original color sheet, it was ugly. 2 bags it comes with. This is going to be the hardware you're going to use. This one you really don't even have to open unless you need the screwdriver and all that. Most of the screws are just doubles in this, so don't worry about having leftover screws. That's for a reason. They give you extra screws. Quick tip I like on the Meteor, this is something I've been doing for a long time. One, I go fast with mine. I usually have a lot of fun with them. I change that to a Metal Gear servo. That's me, you don't have to do it, but I like Metal Gear servo on this one just because of the assembly. But if you find yourself not getting enough up travel, or it's binding in the up travel, these little pieces of foam kind of bottom out here and here. If you take a brand new X-Acto, you can cut out this side right here. You'll pop the clips off, or you can just undo the horn and flip it over. But there's a piece of foam underneath. So basically you want to increase the amount of travel it can get through there. You get a little bit, not a lot, but it'll give you a couple extra degrees of throw. A little block of foam. And you want to make sure you get it decently down in the bottom, because otherwise it'll just bind at the very bottom instead of the top. But it gives me a lot more throw capability here. So now we got a little more articulation in that. Extra couple of degrees of travel there, which these are not centered yet. You'll need to adjust those and all that accordingly. And this is something that's really good to do before you put it all together, is to basically set your trims.
You're gonna pop that, and then you're gonna screw that one in or out, make those the same. That one looks like it's down a little bit, if you notice. A little deflection, that one's down, and this side's actually up. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take those twists in or out, and then until they are even. All right, now Will has trimmed out the linkages, so now we have both elevator halves.
They're equal there, so they should go together instead of being offset. And you don't need a ton of throw on this thing. It's better on the servo.
All right, so back to assembly.
All right, moving on to a couple more quick tips I got on building the Meteor. One thing I like to do on this one, there's 2 things in the fuselage I do before assembly, before I ever put the tail on or anything like that. One, the motor wires for the actual speed control to the motor. These wires, it's a very small chamber here. I usually open that up. I about double the size of that area here. And the second thing I do is I cut out this right here, because there's a lot of wires with the added retracts and everything from the version 1. I basically double this square out here. I cut out the foam to make it a little easier to run the wires through. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll show you guys once it looks like it's done. We got the wires run for the elevator and rudder under the speed control. The wires, the foam trimmed, wires put in, ducting in. You want to make sure those wires get on there so the duct's not pushed out of the way or anything. All right, next step is putting the wing through. This is where I cut the larger hole. This is what makes this a little easier. Plug in your wire harness and your triple harness. I usually pull that wire back. Run the plugs through here. this is where it gets a little tricky.
Yes,
you got to put the hinge here on the back side, then you run the wires through, and then now they got a bundle of wire here. You don't want to tug them, but you just want to make sure you run the wires through. So now they're all through, and that's why I cut that hole larger, so you can fit all the retract wires and everything. And then you're gonna put your bolts in. Now I do recommend on these not gluing the wing on permanently, but if you take some clear silicone RTV, you can get that like Ace Hardware or Home Depot or something like that. I run a bead of silicone RTV down the wing on both sides. That way it gives it a good seal, but you can always take an X-Acto and just slice right through it and then peel it right off when you ever have to get in there again.
Now for the screws. The first person in history of the world is gonna put the blue sticker on the Meteor.
Do you want to do it on the wing too? Yeah.
You're making history in the RC world, Will. History. All right, we got a tech tip.
All right, so we're lining up the sticker here. Obviously, there's a hinge gap here, so the sticker is going to come up a little short. What you do is you bend up the hinge a little bit, just move the servo up to where it's going to go where you want it to bottom out. And we're in line with the blue sticker on the other side. Good idea. So we're going to put it there. I'm going to run the sticker down. Just real quick for you guys. So basically, I'm going to put it on here, and then I'm going to cut it down the middle and then run it in. There, I mean, some people are going to cut it there. I'm going to cut it along this back side here. Right there. I'm going to run the servo back, and I'm going to run in there.
Look at that, perfect.
And that's how you line them up.
That looks professional.
All right, so if you're having trouble getting this on, easiest thing to do is taper this inner edge. Again, number 11 X-Acto is going to be your best friend on these things. Basically, you just kind of trim it to where it's on a slight angle, and it helps get the tail cone on. And you may have to do it 1 or 2 times, especially up here where the 2 parts glue together. But get here, and then the flat, there's one that's missing like a divider. That's the bottom for the skid. So. They seem faster.
Yeah, definitely the new batch of turbos. All right, so that's a quick little rundown on the Meteor for those who've got this far in the video, and hope you enjoyed the tips and the new color scheme of the Meteor. Now it does have some extra navy stickers that we didn't use, but it does have these extra guys here. You can use them as you will, and that's it. And the video's gonna end